All right, 8.2, part 2. We're going to be graphing a few of these equations, or quadratic functions. So let's start with f of x equals x squared plus 1. And let's graph this. Let's start off by making our x and y table. Okay, and let's start with 0. We're going to put 0 in the middle. And here's why. What is 0 squared plus 1? We plug 0 in for x. We get 0 squared plus 1. Well, 0 squared is 0. And then plus 1 is 1. So at 0, our y is going to be 1. That should be our vertex. Which it is. Awesome. Now what happens if we put negative 1 in for x and 1 in for x? Well, if we have negative 1 squared plus 1, negative 1 times negative 1 is 1, plus 1, well, that'll get us 2. So at negative 1, we have 2, negative 1, 1, 2, right there. And at positive 1, we should have 2, right, because of our axis of symmetry. So here, if we just made a nice little graph using those 3 points, okay, and we go through those 3 points, that's perfect. That's good for me. Okay, we used 3 points. We made a nice parabola using those 3 points. Okay, let's graph another one. Okay, let's do x squared plus 5. So again, I'm going to start with my x and y. I'm going to start with 0 in the middle. Yeah, 0 squared plus 5, that's going to equal 5. 0 squared is 0, plus 5 is 5. There's my vertex right there. So at 0, when x is 0, y is 5. And let's do 2 and negative 2. Let's start with 2. 2 squared is 4. And 4 plus 5 is 9. So at 2, when x is 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right there. Okay. So when x is 2, y is 9. Do I even have to do the math for negative 2? No, I should get negative 2, 9 because of our axis of symmetry. Okay, let's look at a negative number. Well, x squared minus a number. X squared minus 3. Okay, again, x, y. What is it when x is 0? We have 0 squared minus 3. That's going to equal negative 3, right? So when x is 0, y is negative 3. What happens when x is at negative 1 and positive 1? Okay, we have 1 squared minus 3 equals what? 1 minus 3 equals negative 2. So when x is at 1, y is at negative 2. When x is at negative 1, it's at negative 2. Okay. There's our graph, right there. Okay. Let's try one without the graph and see if it matches up. Let's try this graph. Equals 2x squared plus 3. Let's see what this graph may look like. I'm going to start with my XY chart. I'm going to start with 0. and plug 0 in for x. So I get 2 times 0, that's going to be squared, plus 3. 0 squared is 0, so 2 times 0 plus 3. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 3 equals 3. So at 0, when x is 0, our y is going to be 3. And without even looking at this next point, is our next point going to be higher or lower than our vertex at 0, 3? Okay, is this going to be a positive parabola or a negative parabola? That should be something we think about each time. Okay, let's plug in 2 and negative 2. Let's say 2 times 2 squared plus 3. 2 squared is 4. And we do our exponent first. 2 times 4 is 8. Plus 3, that'll give us 11. So at 2, our y will be 11. So 1, 2, it's going to be all the way up here. And negative 2 should also be at 11. Let's type that in and see if our graph matches up. 2x squared plus 3. Look at that. Got it.